The language program, I got involved with it in 2005 through the Great Basin College, and they were looking for someone that was a Shoshoni speaker, a native Shoshoni speaker, to go out and speak with elders and to record the elders and preserve the stories. Well, a lot of the stories, it brings back memories of when my grandmother used to share the stories when I was growing up. It's fond memories of my childhood and sitting down, and these stories have a lesson to them. And the story that I told today was a story about the number of months that the animals had all gathered together and were trying to decide how many months there should be in a year. And of course the coyote, he always has great ideas that he thinks that are great ideas, but doesn't agree with everyone. And in this case, in this story, he wanted 12 months because he only thought about the 5 months in the spring, how long it would be for the summer months to be 5 months, and how great that would be to have all these number of months so you can enjoy the outside and so forth. But he didn't realize that during the fall and during the winter, the Zeke, which is the squirrel, and the other animals like the Wudda and the Yaha, the groundhog, would be hibernating. And with the time period that they gather and eat food in the spring and part of the summer, when they go to hibernation, they felt and they argued and they made their point that they couldn't live or hibernate that long of a period and still be able to wake up with enough strength to get up. So this was a story about getting together to decide that. And then Egypt, the coyote, is told in the story, drops a rock because he gets agitated and starts tossing this rock, and he happens to drop it on this rattlesnake. And the rattlesnake used to have a round head, as the story is told, and he wasn't a poisonous snake, or he wasn't angry. And when he got the rock dropped on his head, it flattened his head, and from that point forward he became an angry person, as some people you know in life are just seemingly like, or they're always angry for whatever reason, they never have a good day. So the rattlesnake in this story, the lesson is he's an angry person, and that the way you could recognize him is he has a flattened head, and where the other snakes have round heads. And if you see a round head, you know it's not poisonous, but if you see the flat head, watch out. The moral for little kids is that don't be like the rattlesnake. You know, don't get up when you get up in the morning and be angry. There's nothing to be angry about. Be a happy person, because if you're happy, then that rubs off on other people. And if you're a positive person, you know, that's the way to be in your spirit. You know, then it's positive, and you'll live a good life. I'd heard these stories, and when I started doing the recording, it's like a replay in my mind and of my growing up period with my grandmother. So I had started to think about how neat it would be to maybe share this story with the SILAT program and the students in the program. Initially I was thinking about them having just them write it as a storybook. But then as I started to think more about the program and the storybook, I thought, why can't we put it into a play and have these students get involved as actors and play out the story? And if we were to do that, you know, it would mean more to them. They would learn from it, and it would teach them these lessons. And especially since they're going to be going to the various tribes in the Great Basin and performing to communities and also to students and young kids and families, I thought this would be a great way to kind of revive that story and have these students relive and learn about pride. And I stressed pride to them a lot in the story, about how animals are very proud. So therefore, if they're acting the role of that animal, they need to act very proud, and they need to act with pride, and they need to be respectful, because those animals are all of that. When you see them out in the wild, they're just beautiful animals. They're very colorful, and that's how the Creator made them. And then the other part of the story is all these animals, or all the living beings on Mother Earth, are all beautiful in their own way. And it's only one's judgment by looking at it that makes them ugly. So the objective was to get these students to start thinking about, you know, there's this importance as to why that they should have respect for that animal. and that hopefully also that they will have more respect for each other in the discussion that they've had, and realize that there are sometimes some arguments in a group, but at the end of the day, when there's consensus or an agreement, that's what's important. And when they go forward, that there should be a team effort and working together as a team and having good feelings about life in general, and having the physical, mental, and emotional strength to carry on with their everyday lives.